Well, folks, I am here at South Mason Fire on Arcadia Road with a whole group of great folks that you know in the community. We are talking about National Night Out, which once again is coming up August 4th from 5 to 8 all throughout the county. I'm with Amber Anderson here at South Mason, Abe Gardner from North Mason, Matt Colbenson, Deputy Sheriff here, new Chief of Police, Dan Patton here, and Keith Reitz as well from Central Mason Fire. Amber, we've been talking about this for a long time now. Each year it gets bigger and more organizations working together to promote National Night Out. Again, explain what that is for folks.
Well, National Night Out is a celebration with law and first responders and the community. It's a way for everyone to connect on a less abrasive level.
Sure, less formal as well, too. There's lots of things going on throughout the county, as I mentioned. What's happening here specifically?
So we're going throughout our local neighborhoods and joining their block parties that they've organized, but we're also having our annual Law versus Fire Bucket Brigade, and we're barbecuing. We'll have car seat checks and just a social gathering.
Abe, tell us a little bit about North Mason and the kind of the region that you guys cover and what you're doing.
Yeah, so up on the north end, we have a little bit of the emergency management campus, so we're right next to our old station, which the sheriff's office is housed in as well. So we open up the full campus, so folks from the sheriff's office will be there with us. We'll have some games, out in the parking lot. We'll pull out some apparatus. We'll have hot dogs, of course, available, and then we also do a car seat check event. So if folks want to come in and whether they have a car seat they want to have checked and or if they need one, and we can help with install and provide some education around that. So it's a great opportunity to get together and socialize and a little bit of fellowship. So we're looking forward to it.
Matt, you are with the sheriff's office, and you'll undoubtedly be all over the place then.
That's our intent, yeah. So down here in South Mason, what we do is we go through some of the communities, drive down to the fire department there, drive around through there, let them look at some of the vehicles, and then when we're done, we come back here with some great fun and barbecue, and then some law enforcement versus fire department shenanigans there. And then we'll also have a team up there at the North Precinct that are up there with showing some of our vehicles, a SWAT vehicle, and K9 teams.
And then at the Shelton Civic Center parking lot, Central Mason and Shelton Police are kind of getting together. Let's talk a little bit about what you guys are going to bring to the event.
That's right, Jeff. We're going to be set up right next to the police department there. And this year we are lucky to have Central Mason as partners with us right there in the parking lot. Like you said, we're going to have 100 hot dogs for the first 100 people. And this year we're going to have a fire versus police department trivia, where each time we get a question wrong, we have to eat a chicken wing, and it gets spicier and spicier.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. That is really
We're also
cool.
going to be doing a K9 demonstration inside our new fenced area, and I'll let Keith explain the rest of it.
Yeah, so we'll have our ladder 5.8 there again this year. So kids can spray some water from a hose hitting a cone. They'll be able to look at the apparatus, and then Shelton Parks and Rec is doing egg drop. So they can make their parachutes right there on site, and then we'll take them up to the top of the ladder and drop them and see what survives.
This is open to anybody here. How important is it to build these community relations with the different districts across the county when the need to connect with folks that you may not see on a daily basis? How important is that? Anybody can jump in.
Jeff, I'll jump in here.
Yeah, please.
Everything that law enforcement does is central to the community, and our effectiveness of how well we can do our job is directly related to community involvement. They're literally a huge, part of this. And I remember growing up, even my mother being upset at law enforcement, she got a ticket. But if we can build those relationships before we give the ticket, if we can build those relationships with the community before they call 911, then we're already going to be partners, and we can be much more efficient when that time comes.
A lot of times, too, you folks in the first responder world are meeting people at sometimes their best and sometimes at their worst. And so, like you were saying, kind of a neutral ground here to just enjoy camaraderie and community is a really special thing.
It is, because especially when we can connect with the children, the community and the adults are great too, but the children, when they find themselves in situations where they have to call 911, it's scary. Everybody shows up, there's lights and sirens, and it's nice when we can establish, like, we're here to help. We are friends. We can work together. It's not a scary thing. It's super important to have in the community.
Any upcoming efforts that you all want to talk about in your individual districts or departments that you'd like the community to also be aware of as we move through the summer?
We have our traditional Tahuya Day that we participate in. That's a big event up on the north end. So there'll be plenty of folks out there joining us for that. And then, of course, National Night Out. And I would also just say, I think we would all attest to the fact that call volume usually goes up a little bit over the summertime with folks coming in and visiting. Just be safe. We've got a lot of education out there with our community risk reduction group that we're providing some education online that folks can plug into. And so just be safe and educate yourselves, and we're here to help when needed. And I'll just say real quick too, Jeff, on the National Night Out, what's been a really cool experience over the last couple of years is there's been opportunities for families that we've been able to serve and engage with during a 911 call. But they've had the opportunity to come in and thank the folks that served them on that call and get a chance to do a face-to-face in a completely different environment. So those experiences have really been fun. So folks have been able to come in and interact in a whole different circumstance.
I want to also say West Mason Fire is also involved in the National Night Out. Chief Welander was here, and then he just got a call and had to head out. But they are also working with the Skokomish tribe on that night, August 4th, from 5 to 8, all across the county. I'll put the links to the different departments and where you can find the information on which is closest to you. But again, I want to thank Keith and Dan and Matt and Abe and Amber for a great conversation about a huge night out, August 4th, 5 to 8. all across Mason County. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.